I watched a video with Ilya Bogdanov as a guest at Kungurov's. He discusses the ruins in Mayas. This is interesting and located in central Russia. And he also mentioned the roads that go straight through the mountains, and I came across them. Here is actually the city of Mayas. In the middle of Russia, here are the mountains located. If we look at it like this, we can see here are the mountains. So I was just looking around, thinking, well, maybe I'll spot those ruins. And I stumbled upon something like if we look from above like this, oh, a path, yeah, a road probably. People built something here. That's what I think, like this, see, it's at a right angle. And here, there are more plantings, these straight ones, these plantings. So maybe they're not even plantings, but something else too. Did people make it or not? It's marked like that everywhere. We go down here, take a look at what this is. It goes at a right angle, and if we look up the mountain, it's straight, vertical. Original poster. And who builds roads like this here? It just went on, and right through the mountain, straight, it kept going and going. Apparently, well, okay, I think, well, it's interesting, amazing, kind of. Then we go down the mountain and look. Oh, there it is. Oops, and again it goes at the same angle, just like they say nothing grows here. Very interesting. And it went off into the distance to another mountain. Well, what's interesting is that it keeps going further and intersects with similar ones. Here are some of our roads, and it went that way. It doesn't matter if it's a mountain or not, basically. Straight up the mountain, down the mountain, just fine. And straight, just like that. And it went over there to the next mountain. I moved to Udmurtia. Here I marked it, just Izhevsk. Well, Izhevsk, kind of. Here's our pond. We live here. We never had any artifacts here, not ever. We don't know anything about it, never heard of it. We're moving to the left. Oh, right in the city limits. What is that? Well, oh, Sadogorod Lesnoy, but maybe someone built roads here. Wow, what a thing. So here's Sadogorod Lesnoy, and then there's some kind of clearing like this. And how big is it? Interesting. Let's see, tap 72 meters for our roads, about 10 to 15 meters for us. Well, that's to make our road, that's good. Then there it goes. Again further, it went at a right angle. Since there's nothing, no house, nothing. Oops, some markings are visible, something seems to be planted. Yeah, maybe they docked. No, they planted. Here, again, we see some kind of stripes. Okay, fine, this is towards the south. Well, here again, here's another intersection. What is this? Oh, it goes straight to the horizon. This is the road. This is our road. How big is it? So there's some kind of undergrowth here, or rather there's some low vegetation over there. Here's a car. How many meters? 81 meters. 81 meters is fine. Something crosses here. What is crossing here? And here the forest is growing, so there's a marker. Some kind of... What a junction. Yeah. And so the road was made of slag right at the place where this strip went. So here was the intersection, there was Zhik, our road went this way, intersection. Yeah, well, this intersection, of course, is really touching. Oops. And he went off somewhere into the tundra over there. Our road goes along the edge, well, the local road, of course, a normal size. So it went and ended up in some kind of garden, and this road, as it was going, keeps going, continues, goes off somewhere into the distance, and in terms of length, let's say from here to the first corner, it's 30,000 kilometers in a straight line, absolutely normal. Novomikhailovsk. Those who live in Novomikhailovsk probably don't know that there used to be such an ancient highway here and that no forest grows here. Once they did that, they built houses here. Well, you can assume that they specifically cleared the forest here to build houses. Well, naturally, that's normal. They cut down the forest and built houses. They kept building and building, and then suddenly things just kept moving forward. But there are no houses, no roads, no houses at all. It just went off somewhere into the distance and kept going and going like that. They just kept walking and walking and walking and walking and walking and walking. Oh, the road ahead. Oh, the size of the road crossing our main highway here. Let's see. The width of our road is about 4 meters, and the highway is 75 meters. That's what these roads are like. Well, you have to imagine it. Oh, an interesting feature is that they turn at angles. Boom, the angle starts. So it's not curly and swirly like ours. There's also something coming from the swivel here. The key is you don't need to cut trees, it's beautiful. Oh, here's our main line. Wow, it goes somewhere. It goes, it goes. We traveled a lot and now we're here. Where did we end up? And we arrived in Udmurtia. Aha. That's how it is. We traveled, reached Udmurtia and came in a straight line. Here's the road to Udmurtia, the one we use and our cars. How many meters is it? This is our Udmurtia road, thousands. 9 meters, a big road, 10 meters, damn, unbelievable. Oh, and here is another road that also isn't used at all. So there was a small road, right? How many meters? Only just 23 or something, just 23 meters. A small road. Very small. And this straight road, the one that was blocked, the road that goes straight. In Yaksharbud we have a straight road from Mikhailovsky Shper. 96 meters, that's 100 meters, 100 meters wide. What kind of cart was that? 100 meters wide. Here we are looking, absolutely. Oh no, it's not absolutely straight. There was no bend, just one straight segment. We have 12 kilometers and the second segment is the same. So that's 24 kilometers of absolutely flat road, absolutely straight. Apparently, Udmurtia was built later. The road just kept going, then it turns and goes further north. Look, here it is from Udmurtia. There are no settlements at all. Here. And here are path crosses. A big good one. Apparently some kind of highway. That's the beauty of it. An ancient straight road, yes, and here goes our road. And here trees are planted along it. There are the plantings over there. That's how they're planted. It's so that it doesn't get covered with drifting snow. But here nothing grows. Here too, they probably planted along the side. They likely didn't realize they kept planting, but nothing grew everywhere. I also noticed they kept planting. For example, this straight road where it crosses somewhere, nothing grows there. Underneath it, nothing grows there. Obviously, maybe it's paved with stone there. Maybe something was put there, poured with something, and it goes off into the horizon. But this one is clearly not very even. But there are also some intersections. Maybe someone lives here. Well, there are probably some roads here. So it's being used. You have to use it. Exactly. A crossroads of a straight road, obviously. Somewhere here it was plowed over. Somewhere we can't see something. Here there's some kind of fork, really. A fork on a fork, and here is a village. So on these straight open areas they build houses. So we keep going. Here's the road running along the edge. Fekel something, a state farm, Fekel or whatever it is, I don't remember. So we walked, drove on a big cart 100 meters wide or 50. So I put on my glasses here. What's this here? It's interesting. Oh, how interesting, where the trees are planted. And that's not all. If we go up a little bit in an honorable way, we'll see some fields with markings here. Looking at the branches, who built this? What is this road? Even though it's narrow here, but it also looks straight even in these, in the roads already smaller. This is a road for ours, the local small ones. So was there clearly some kind of carp here or something? Oh, they built it. The Americans built high-frequency active auroral research program here on the territory of Udmurtia. We had our own high-frequency active auroral research program. Honestly, it's unclear. You'd think they cleared it for a road, but this road just turned off to the side. But with mine, which later got stuck. And it keeps going further. That's the road. See how it curves, how they led it that way, and it started winding there, but this one just keeps going straight as it was. So now, when we've learned to see all these roads, we can easily tell them apart. This is the edge of Udmurtia. It's already tough. We arrived obviously at the very north, reached the end, and then we looked around here. Everything is interesting. Let's take a look at Votkinsk and Sarapul. There's a very interesting thing in Sarapul. The article discussed nuclear craters near Sarapul, referring to the Black Sands. Here are these two nuclear craters, 10 megatons and 8 megatons. The guys calculated everything. They checked there, looked at the diameter. The diameter is a kilometer, 10 megatons. This one is about 8 megatons. Here Yershovka scratched here himself, so he scratched exactly on the opposite side. The nuclear strike was right here, and and here we see the same picture, the same roads, everywhere. Just like before, the roads are exactly the same. No one lives here. There is this small road, here it went, here it turned, and it's only about 25 meters to the fog, to a wider road. Here it came, we arrived, so where did it go in that direction? It went somewhere into the tundra, beyond the borders of Udmurtia. It drove on. As Kungurov says, and here's what's interesting. Everything was fine, nothing happened. All these roads crossed, but here 2 lanes started to intersect. Is this two-way traffic of giant carts? Well, alright, what's the size? 50 meters, so 50 meters each. All right. Which one's this? This one jumps. If you take it from here, so they dragged it here, or what? What's this? If you take it like this, 167 meters. 167 meters. Here we come out under the Sarapul to a different size. Let's get closer to the Kama. Peravoznaya right here. Those who know will recognize it. What do we have here? And look what's going on here with these roads. The road crosses over another road like this. Well, here are our little roads. They're kind of small here. But over here it's like some kind of highway interchange or something they had. And here it's really something else. They went parallel. The hydroelectric power station is ours. We built it. Well, okay, right next to the hydroelectric power station. Let's see what we have here. We have a crossing here. There are interchanges here. Oh, is something written here or what? Who planted here? What is this? How much? Only 60 meters. All right, here we go again. So it went this way, went that way. Why did it go? Nobody lives here. These are all remnants from before the Christian civilization. Here you go a little corner. But what kind of highway is this? Walked and walked, then suddenly turned right on the spot, made a U-turn, or made the turn just fine. Oh, what do we see? We see that through the continuation. Is it underwater or something? You can see it? What the heck is that? Well, here we go, and now the number. Here, Yara Mask. What is Yara Mask, Yara? Actually, there wasn't really Tartaria there before. That's more of a Western name. Here we had the world of Yara, the world of Mara. Mask means icon, so it's kind of icon-like, and Moskova is also icon-like, if this one is icon-like. Yara Gorodov, Moskva, there are about 7 worldwide. So, there was a road. Absolutely. It came from somewhere from far away, from where Udmurtia is now. There was no Udmurtia back then. The road came from there. Here it is going straight, and here is our little road. You can see it. It went. There it is. The interchange got bigger. We keep going, driving to Yaramaski. We arrive at night, and we start to grow. And we grew. So here is the Kama River. Obviously, it used to be bigger before. And here you can see the remains of a bridge. Apparently something used to be here. Look at our Yaramaski and look at the size of this bridge. Let's count it. So it's about 450 meters, half a kilometer. That is in the area of Yaramaski, where there was a nuclear explosion not far from there. According to our article, we find a road and a crossing that are 450 meters wide. We have our own crossings, let's say our crossings. And how wide is our bridge? Our bridge is 17 meters wide, and there it's 450 meters. That's a crossing, but what is this? And here we can also see this. What was this? This was a bridge. Why are they rounded? Oh, it's a strange thing. It's absolutely everywhere. This is how it all looks. 100 meters wide, 100 meters, 100 meters. That's a lot to explain, like this, like that. And the forest doesn't grow here at all. So what is this, a runway or something? Damn. The forest doesn't grow. It goes on for tens of kilometers, absolutely straight. Oh, it splits. There's a branch. But clearly, if there were roads here, then there must have been settlements somewhere around here too. So we have to assume that under these ancient highways, something is either laid out or poured in. For the most part, it turns sharply, even at small angles. It's all clear here, the roads go through, so there are obviously some settlements, cities, and other ancient places. We need to look along these, but if I turned here, maybe there was something here. So should we be looking for traces of nuclear explosions here? So how did they clear it out? Well, the road crosses here. That's what it all looks like. All settlements have been cleared out, but it's unclear how. So these are the kinds of segments, somewhat angular in places, they turn a little bit, but overall they're pretty straight. If we look at it like this, a giant glacier passed through here. Here it is. It goes straight, straight, then again straight, straight, straight. Here it goes straight. The vegetation here is entirely different, yet nothing grows. Here, maybe it's logging, maybe looking from Ujevsk. Everything here is crisscrossed, meaning everything was here. Literally all these roads, and in these roads, our roads might not even be there. Here, for example, there are absolutely no roads at all. An intersection where our road crosses an old one. I drive straight, cars go from here to there, it's about 200 meters, and our road, the federal highway, is about 15 meters wide, let's say. Our 15 meters over there, 200 meters. Something was clearly scraped out here. Vovoj, it would seem like in Vovoj, but here this... What road? Looks like it too. The same kind of road leads to Vovoj. Who is this? We had a crossroads here like this. The road went, and the crossroads, where did it go? What is this? If you go straight, you are all here. What? Oh, now that's interesting. This is water, moats with water. Yeah, lovely. Someone dug moats with water, and here the forest doesn't grow. So what was here? There was clearly some kind of ancient settlement in this Tartary, and now there are some small villages along here, and maybe inside the moat there was a settlement. You can see the roads crossing, and the big road goes right through the settlement. Probably. No one suspects that they live on this road. Yeah, they are building right along it. But why are they building? Because there is clearly some kind of tree line, and they are fitting themselves into it. And how wide is this watershed? The fields, interestingly, are 100 meters wide here. 100 meters, a bit wider, 120. These are the kinds of interesting things we have in Udmurtia. Well, there you go. No need to ask a fortune teller. It's the same thing again. And all of this is separate from our roads. Sometimes our roads end up in these ruts. Everything is completely cut up. And here are some inserts. What are these inserts? There's probably nothing there except vegetation, remnants of pre-Christian civilization. Where should we look for the ancient settlement? Obviously, somewhere at these forks, clearly at the forks and crossroads. We need to look for all of this by number. So, the car. We drove, turned, 5, drove, 5, turned. Something turns gently. This doesn't look like our ancient roads, but this one probably goes straight, and this one probably went straight, and these are the roads we built later. And here the territory is divided into squares, perfectly even squares. Nobody really thinks about what these squares are. They're already hard to see. It's just by squares. They built our roads not straight, but along the clearings, square by square, tick, tick, and the road just kept going. Where did it lead? It will be the Shur era, but this is still a Buddhist road. Oh, that's interesting. Right here, we have those roads in our city. They say Ijevsk is about 200 to 250 years old, but we know... What is this? The roads run right through the city. This, as they tell us, is the place where the city was born, and right here, this is where the city began. Here, we find ancient buildings, with colonnades like those at the Lenin Library. There was clearly some kind of city here that was wiped out, and here they all are. Now we're leaving the city, taking the old road, we're driving. Why are we driving normally? So we've crossed the Agaman River here. Agar, in English... We're heading out, we were driving, and for some reason the road turned. But it turned, and that's fine. It was a pretty smooth turn. But originally, apparently, it wasn't a smooth turn. It was straight, just going straight, and then in the future it changed. So then, apparently, they cleaned something up here a bit. Here's the wide road. Here's our road that we drive on. It's a federal highway, a big one. We're driving 7 meters wide. Originally, and again, here it's the same 100 meters. So we're driving on an ancient road, completely unaware of it. It's absolutely flat, but we're driving, seems straight. Everything's going well. Here's Chistopradny, here's Dorojny settlement, Old German, here's our Yogdun. Turns out we're driving on an ancient road. It turns out right here another ancient road crosses it. Today it's called the bypass, but in fact it's an ancient road. Yeah, that's from Novomikhailovsk. This is the cleared road that goes to Yakbodia. Here are some more. Here are more roads. And this road went this way. There's another road here too. There's the old Yakbodinsky route, which goes right through the gardens and vegetable plots. This is probably the old Yakbodinsky. But this doesn't look like an old road. But this one looks like it. It goes right through these gardens. So we're entering the garden along the ancient road. Not tiki. And then we turned and it shot off somewhere to the south. All these paths here, those are the ones we mapped out. Here are our interchanges. That's where they built the new overpass. And here, look, these are the ancient roads. Here you go. They joined together and split into 2 lanes. Such a beauty would have cost thousands. 70 in length, 5 meters, but it was 36 meters. So these are small roads actually, as we can see. They also went through gardens, small roads here. Here it went. This is a winter shot. You can see it clearly. Here we have standing here. This road went. There's no vegetation like it was cut with a ruler. It keeps going. It keeps going. How many kilometers is it here? 15 keeps going, then the forks start. Here are some cut sections too, somewhere the forest grows, somewhere it doesn't. It's different. Here the cutting starts, the accounting. Everyone stopped, nothing is done. Damn, it's 30 kilometers to the first turn, that's fine. And look at this interchange. Here it's 2 lanes, here are 2 lanes and 1 lane. Chin went this way. High-speed highways, but everything is for the round choice. Maybe there was a city here, Shandara, zeros from the nuclear explosion. Maybe, not a fact. Now we already know that this happens. We set up some monitoring here. Someone is using it somehow. Well, what is this young forest apparently, or undergrowth? In general, the road crosses here, some small one. Here it goes this way along the road, and here somehow are those glasses. But it's not used for anything else at all. Absolutely, nobody needs it. There's a tower here and it extends into the tundra and the distance. Oh, wow, look how far it goes, my goodness. It's gone so far, really, really far. The cows are grazing. And here we have Udmurtia. And now we are looking at the Udmurt triangle. So here we have Udmurtia, Mariel. And now we are looking at this Udmurt triangle. Here it is. Here is the Mari triangle, which we discussed in that article. Already moved to another republic. Well, is there something here on the corner? Oh, there is. Everything is still covered in lines here, all these roads. Everything is in these settlements. Oh, something is written. Maybe. So the detail here is very low, so we're just looking. So it's possible. Our roads are divided into squares. A much larger civilization existed here before us. Here we've entered the Perm region, yes. Also take a look if this is in the Perm region. Well, of course, here you go, the same roads. Well, just like that, hit 1,000 and went on. The roads are straight after all. Let's take a look. Okay. 40 kilometers. Well, I mean, 40 kilometers each. Here, a small bend covering 40 kilometers is not a problem for them. It's the same thing. It just kept going and going. And here, in these ancient roads, there was clearly some kind of settlement here. There must be something around. The crossing is just like this. It goes the same way, and here it branches off. There was likely a crossing here. See, there's one on the other side, so it must have gone straight across like this. Either there wasn't a river here before, or there was a bridge here. So the scale compared to our civilization was much greater. Here's another interesting thing. Where else in Kazakhstan could there be such roads? Well, here we are entering Kazakhstan. Yes, but that's just how it is. The whole world was absolutely populated. That's why they say that 200 years ago, between 30 and 80 billion people died. Where did we even have 60 or 80 billion people here? Yes, the whole world was populated. So there was absolutely the same kind of clearing in Volgograd. Let's look at Volgograd. It's exactly the same there too. Absolutely everything. All the same roads, very densely populated. From Moscow, well, I don't know. If we drive away towards Moscow, what do we see here? We see the same exact roads. And here as well, right along these roads, without cutting anything down, they build houses, 50, 5, 6. The width of this highway along my own road is 40 meters, just a bit north of Moscow. I stop by here. Yeah, right here. An intersection, the road went all the way through, went that way and went this way. Do you want to find out which one? Should we look for ancient structures? Oh, I think it's just all overgrown here. So now anyone can just go and look at planet Earth, whichever is more convenient, even up to the usual one, and see where and what we live on, and see the scale of the civilization that existed before Christianization. That is Christianization. It shut everything down for us. All the roads are closed, just like the whole Moscow region. Continuing on this topic, we'll go underwater. So we were driving, and we arrived. What do we see? It's basically the same picture, just like that, and it's the same road. You could just blame it on filming errors, because who knows how the filming goes, maybe in squares or something, but it's a miracle. But we found all this on land, we traced everything. Just like an error, that's how they make mistakes in filming. I went to a random place on land, so you can't really make such mistakes. There is either a forest growing there or not. For example, this is somewhere in Japan, which... The Bermuda Triangle, this has already happened here. The video was taken out. That's it. But inside everything is still the same roads. I mean, some bulldozers were moving around there, a huge machine like that. Let's take a look now. Here are the little machines, tiny ones like this, about the size of a house. There's a huge 9-story machine driving over there. You have to imagine it was moving along, and then there's oncoming traffic. That's how huge it is. The car over there like a cockroach, and off they go somewhere. A fork in the road, so one went that way, the road goes off into the tundra. The other, when it went that way, and off they went again. That's how our ancient ancestors traveled, where they went, maybe for gifts, maybe they hauled wood. Noise, not stretchable. The scale of such craziness, you could probably fly for half an hour and already be somewhere in Siberia. Well, here's Karkale. We came to Karkale for the sawmill in Karkale. There was some kind of narrow gauge railway there. It seems like there was clearly some ancient settlement here. Here's one fork, here's another. And this fork clearly went through Karkale. So in Karkale you need to look for ancient cities. And here are our tiny little roads that we drive on here. And here are their roads, the ones they also used here. It's a scary thing. What was flying by here, rushing through? Well, that's how it is. So let's all get some help, as they say. Here you go, Uva, it turns out, is also right at the crossroads. So there was also an ancient settlement here, which means that thousands of years ago there were some settlements here too, even cities. The signs of an ancient road are right angles. Ours are all winding, but these vehicles that used to drive here could go straight up the mountain, just straight over the mountain, and then kept going. Ours are all winding. You can't just go straight there, you might fall, but apparently they didn't have any problems. So let's take a look at where we live, at the remnants of some civilization, and start figuring out when and where the evidence is. Here is the evidence. We live among this evidence. Our houses are standing right on it. Many people see it this way. Our planet is interesting like that. Our Earth is mysterious.